Here is a review you're looking for. Number 6, we have Lake Michigan Credit Union. Our score, 8/10. So when we think about Lake Michigan, you have a constellation of business loans, business lines of credit, and other credit products that actually are pretty good for businesses, for established businesses, but also for startups. And they all pull personal TransUnion. Okay. One thing we love about Lake Michigan is that they actually have a great customer service. And we love the fact that they have a constellation of business loans also. And so they'll basically work with you to find out what kind of loan that you are looking for, what kind of business loan that you're looking for. And the thing is that they only pull TransUnion, personal TransUnion, only once. In other words, if they approve you, let's say they actually pull TransUnion this month, and if you apply for a credit line extension, let's say you have a line of credit and you're applying for a credit line extension in 3 months, they don't pull TransUnion again. As long as you apply within 4 to 6 months, maximum 6 months, then you are good to go. And so we love the fact that Lake Michigan also has they have great customer service. Okay, you can actually contact them, and I encourage you to contact them if you're interested in having a business loan from Lake Michigan. You want to contact them to actually start the process. So you can call 1-800-242-9790. And so when we talk about the type of loans that they offer business lines of credit. They have business secure term loans. They have business real estate loans. Okay, this is really important. And one thing we don't like about Lake Michigan is the fact that they do not provide traditional unsecured business loans. So if you think about it, everything that they actually provide is collateralized, whether it is secured term loans or real estate loans, because if you have a real estate loans, the property becomes the collateral. They also provide, in some cases, equipment financing. Again, here we have another type of business loan that is collateralized. So if you are looking for an unsecured business loan that pulls personal TransUnion, Lake Michigan is not really the place to go. They do offer lines of credit, but those lines of credit are not collateralized. But lines of credit are not technically business loans, right? The process is different, but overall, well, as I said, we love Lake Michigan anyway. So our score, 8/10. Number 5, we have here Teachers FCU. Our score, 8.5/10. And Teachers is a great players when it comes to credit union business loans that pull personal TransUnion. And what we love about Teachers is that they'll actually help you out. And they were very generous when it comes to the loan that they're giving you. The maximum loan you can qualify for is $250,000. Think about that. $250,000, not million. $250,000. This is really good. We love that. And what we love about Teachers is that obviously they also have great customer service. They will work with you. What they do is that they will actually assign a loan rep to your account, and that loan rep will be your main point of contact when it comes to any information about the loan itself, the paperwork needed. If they need extra information, that loan rep will contact you. So this person will be your single point of contact between you and Teachers. Okay, and so as I said before, the maximum loan amount is $250,000. And in terms of there is a fee though. They do charge a $500 packaging fee on term loans and lines of credit, okay, that are above $100,000. So if you get approved for a line of credit or a business loan that exceeds $100,000, be prepared to pay a $500 packaging fee. And in terms of the application, you can actually go online, go on the website, and they have a form there. They have a Teachers business loan and line of credit application. Just fill it up. They ask for basic information, okay, and you have to fill that out, and you also need to fill out a personal financial statement. And this only applies for loans that are higher than $50,000, okay. And once you have everything ready, you can actually mail the whole paperwork to the whole package to Business Lending Department, Teachers, P.O. Box 9005, Smithtown, New York 11787 9005. So that's one option. You can mail the package. You can actually go to a branch Okay, if you're lucky to live in the vicinity of a teacher's branch, just go to a branch and have a conversation with the loan rep there. And one thing I forgot to say here is that when we talk about the package you need to send to teachers, they want the application form that's completely filled out. They want your personal financial statements, but they also want an IRS tax return transcript request. So they want to verify your information with the IRS directly. And you can actually also give them a call. You can call 631-698-7000 extension 1687, okay, to talk to the teacher's business development officer, or you can email business@teachersfcu.org. Number 4, we have Alliance. Our score, 8.7 over 10. And one thing I want to say about Alliant is that Alliant is really great. And Alliant, we have been following this credit union for several years now, and we love the fact that they're constantly changing their business model. They're constantly being more open. The only problem that we have is that Alliant is kind of similar to Lake Michigan. In other words, they only do collateralized loans. So if you're looking for an unsecured business loan that pulls personal TransUnion, Alliant is not your credit union. But if you are fine with something collateralized, then yeah, go ahead. Okay. So they actually have they do equipment financing, but they also do, and they most predominantly do commercial real estate lending. Okay. And the cool thing is that you're talking about everything from commercial, from office buildings to supermarkets to hotels and whatnot. Okay. And they also can actually come on a single deal, or they can come as a portfolio lender. In other words, they could do a syndicate of loans. So they can be a syndicate lender. And one thing we have seen is that Alliant actually works with other lenders. So they never do things by themselves. And so this is kind of cool because the amount of capital you can actually have access to becomes larger, right? The pool of capital becomes larger. And so the thing is, if they actually if they act as a portfolio lender, they actually target transactions ranging from $7 million to $35 million nationwide, okay, without the need to syndicate or seek co-lenders. And this is really important. Now, one thing I want to say here is that you have to make sure that you have established a relationship with the Alliance, as with you would have done. You need to do with all the credit unions anyway in today's list, right? You want to have a relationship first, so you got to qualify for a membership at the personal level, and then you have to parlay that personal membership into a business membership, okay? And make sure that your banking history with those credit unions is completely blemish free. In other words, if you want to do something with teachers, make sure that you keep a clean relationship with them. If you want to do the same thing with Lake Michigan, do the same thing with the Alliance. So this is really important, okay? And one thing I want to say here is that it's always better to apply at a branch, but things happen. Maybe you don't live next to a branch, a credit union branch, but try to do it over the phone. Don't do the whole thing about the online application. It doesn't work. Okay, it works for banks and credit unions because it helps them sort of accelerate the whole underwriting process, but it doesn't work for you. You need to speak to someone before applying. Number 3, we have BECU. Our score, 9.1 over 10. So when we talk about BECU, obviously we are speaking about Boeing Employees Credit Union. And what we love about BECU is that they have a constellation of business loans. I mean, BECU is great. They have the balance sheet for it. They have the money for it, and they can lend up to $1 million. And in some cases, but for $1 million, you need to really have a great relationship with them. Okay, but they do have the balance sheet for it. And what we love about BECU is that their APRs are generally low, and they offer unsecured term loans. They offer secure term loans. They offer business equipment term loans. Okay, for business equipment, they actually will finance deals that actually oscillate from 10 grand to $250,000. Okay, this is really important. So I'm talking about things that will help you finance new equipment, machinery, or other business capital assets. And what we love about BECU is that Their loans, there is no origination fee on the loan, and they do have a very high, pretty high loan to value LTV ratio up to 80%. This is really good. And the terms up to 84 months. Think about that. 84 months, that's 7 years. This is really good because this gives you time to breathe, financially speaking. Okay. And so we also love the fact that with BECU, the loan application is very smooth and very straightforward. You can complete download and complete a business loan application form. You want to provide a purchase order or bill of sale if you are trying to finance if you're trying to do a business equipment financing deal. And one thing I want to say here is that it's important to always connect with a business specialist. That's how they call their loan reps. Okay, talk to someone before, as I just said, or you can go to the nearest branch. And BECU, they have their own terminology. They call their branches neighborhood financial centers. Okay, so go to a neighborhood financial center, aka a branch, to talk to a BECU specialist, business specialist, or you can just give them a call. Okay, call 1-800-704-8080, and they are available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. through 7 p.m. Pacific, Saturday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so this is really important, and so always make sure that you talk to someone before you apply for a loan at any of the credit unions that I'm covering into this conversation. Number 3, we have here Consumers Credit Union. Our score 9.5 over 10. So when you think about CCU, what we love about CCU is the speed of fund released. I mean, CCU is kind of unique in the industry. Not only in terms of how they process loan applications, but also how fast they release funds. Okay, and they're the only one actually. They're the only one, because even Navy Fed is not really that fast sometimes, but CCU really does that. So what we love about CCU is that they don't have a lot of unsecured term loans. However, their secure term loans, they are really fast in those. So they provide commercial mortgages, which is a collateralized loan, business loan. They provide a secured line of credit. They provide equipment financing. So all those three things are collateralized, right? And what I want to say here is that even if they're collateralized, they are really generous here. For example, there are commercial mortgages. They can finance transactions up to $10 million. And they have done for one of our clients, one of our business clients, they have financed transactions up to $15 million. That was there were multiple lenders, but consumers came with the big check. Okay, so when we talk about commercial mortgages, you're looking at loan values up to 80%, so LTV 80%, amortizations up to 25 years, no prepayment penalty, and a very competitive rate. And they also offer secure lines of credit. So you were speaking about business secure lines of credit. You have letters of credit issuance, letters of credit issuance. You have business construction and development loans. Okay, you also have equipment financing. And in terms of if you want to get started pretty quick, it's just a lot better to call CCU. So you can call them at 847-672-1888. So the number is 847-672-1888. Or you can email commercial lending in one word at myconsumers.org. Okay, so they want you to have just kind of basic loan application form. So you want to have you also need to have your personal financial statements. You need to have also your business your personal tax returns. Okay, and that's it. So you are good to go. Number 1, the best of the best when it comes to credit union business loans that pull personal TransUnion. Number 1, we have Navy Federal. Our score 9.7 over 10. One thing we love about Navy Federal is that they have a larger footprint nationwide. Okay, and Navy Fed does the same thing with all the other credit unions. They rarely provide unsecured term loans. All their loans are secured in some way, shape, or form. let's just quickly get into it. So when you look at Navy Federal, so you have in terms of lending options that they have, you have commercial real estates. Okay, so those loans are by definition collateralized. So they will do commercial real estate, they will do residential rental properties, they will do multifamily dwellings, they will do property renovation. You also have business lines of credit. So if you this when it comes to the business line of credit, they have been known to do unsecured and secured. The reason is that when you have a business line of credit from a lender's perspective, you are able to monitor the line more easily, because the borrower does not tap into all the funds at once, right? This is a gradual thing, which is not the same thing as a normal standard installment loan. So when it comes to Navy Federal business line of credit, you can have a secured option and an unsecured option. The bottom line is that they will give you the money to take care of temporary working capital, cash flow, payroll, to actually fill the gaps between accounts receivable and accounts payable. If you have unexpected expenses, you can actually tap into a business line of credit from Navy Fed to actually take care of that. You also have overdraft protection. Okay, so this is kind of important to actually talk about. So, and other options that you have in terms of Navy Fed is you also have vehicle and term loans at the business level. Okay, so if you need a car for traveling, a truck for hauling, or a commercial oven for cooking, so their business term loans offer you the opportunity to grow your business with the tools and materials you need. And the good thing is that Navy Fed relatively is kind of fast too. They're not as fast as CCU, but they are fast. They will give you the money in 2 and 3 days, okay, 4 days in some cases, if you're really lucky, if you have all the paperwork ready. This is important. Before I close today's conversation, let me quickly give an overview here. Let's just get into the topic itself. I mean, the thing is that you might be thinking, why do I need a business loan that pulls personal TransUnion? Well, it really depends. But what if TransUnion is your best credit score? I mean, we all know that there are differences between all the credit scores that the credit bureaus actually report, right? So your TransUnion credit score might be higher or lower than your Experian or your Equifax. But if it happens that you are lucky enough to have a high TransUnion score and you need money, because you should not actually borrow it simply because your TransUnion or your Equifax, for that matter, or your Experian credit score is high. No, you need to borrow because you need the money for some business related reason, right? So if that happens, if you have a high FICO score, if you have a high TransUnion score, then go ahead and then go ahead and apply for a loan. Okay, and the thing is that having a business loan can help you on a lot of things. It can help you if you have a poor cash flow right now in the business. It can help you take care of expensive equipment costs. It can help you take care of advertising fees. It can help you actually take care of hiring, especially if your business is growing and you are expanding. If you are expanding like crazy, but you don't have the cash flow to sustain that expansion, then having a business loan from a credit union or a bank, for that matter, can help you a lot, right? And also, a credit union business loan that pulls TransUnion can actually help you in terms of emergency funds. If you need emergency funds, that's kind of important. So everything that can help you buttress your cash flow positions, that can help you actually increase your cash inflows, this is kind of cool. You should go ahead and take care of that. You should go ahead and apply. But one thing I need to really mention here is that obviously we're speaking about credit union business loans that pull personal TransUnion. That means what? It means that your business must qualify for membership. And this is what I was just saying earlier, that you basically want to parlay your great relationship at the personal level into a business relationship. Yes, but you still need to qualify. Your business must qualify for membership in order to become a business member. As a matter of fact, for Navy Fed, for example, you need to apply. There is an entire process There is an entire protocol you need to follow if you want to become a business member at Navy Fed. Let me give you a few pro tips. And so this is based on 40 years of experience that we have learned in terms of increasing your odds of being approved for a business loan, whether you get it at a credit union or at a bank, or whether they were pulling TransUnion, they were pulling Equifax, they were pulling Experian. There are some criteria, some proven criteria that always actually work. So you need to calculate how much you need. Okay, it's very important because you want to make sure that the amount that you need is in sync with your operational goal, is in sync with your vision. And I'm talking about calculating that. I mean, I'm not saying you should just estimate that amount. No, you want to sit down and you actually write down on a piece of paper how much you need, and you need to be able to justify why you need that much. For example, let's say you need $50,000. Okay, why do you need 50 specifically and not 48 or 47 or 53 or 54? This is important. That level of granularity will help you in the long run. Now you might be thinking, well, those are minor details for me. Yes, you might be thinking that now, but when it comes time to apply, you will see that those minor details are not that minor. They make a big difference. So calculate how much you need. You want to write a business plan. Okay, very important. A business plan is your blueprint. You want to show the credit union that you have thought about your business model and that your business model is profitable. That you're not just sitting here just waiting for money to come your way. No, you have thought about everything in and out, and that you are confident that once you have the money, you'll be able to implement your strategy to increase your revenue even further. Also, you want to consider repayment terms. Okay, think about whether or not you'll be in a position to repay the loan amount. Very quintessential. You want to talk to a financial advisor, for example. Maybe you can talk to someone at the branch. This is why I was just talking to you earlier about making sure that you speak to someone at the credit union before you apply for a loan. Okay, so, and ideally you want to go to a branch, have a conversation, sit down, ask all questions, and receive all the answers, so you know exactly where you are really. So this is important. This is really important. You want to decide on the type of loan that you are looking for also. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that obviously when we talk about credit union business loans that pull personal TransUnion, you have a typology of loans that you need to actually take into account. So are you looking for a business line of credit? Are you looking for a business loan? Are you looking for a equipment financing? Are you looking for invoice factoring? Are you looking for, so on and so forth? So before I close today's conversation, please check out our loan evaluation approach. We have a strict methodology when it comes to evaluating the loans that we actually review on this show. Check this out. All right, let's quickly recap here. So here are the top 6 credit union business loans that pull personal TransUnion. Number 1, we have Navy Federal, 9.7 over 10. Number 2, we have here Consumers Credit Union, we have 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have BECU, 9.1 over 10. Number 4, we have Alliance, 8.7 over 10. Number 5, we have Teachers FCU, 8.5 over 10. Number 6, we have Lake Michigan, 8 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.